Imagine your story, what will you be today? A princess in a pretty dress, or a knight that saves the day? Come, let's run, play, pretend all day to imagine your story today.
Good morning. Welcome back to Imagine Your Story. I'm Miss Rhonda.
I'm Miss Isabella.
And we're so glad to see you today. We're going to start with a game.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
Okay, are you up for the challenge?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. This game is called Who Am I? I live in a castle and I wear a crown. When people see me, they all bow down. I wear a blue cape and a great big ring. Who am I?
I think you might be a king.
Yes, a king. And there he is. Yay. All right, next one. I live in a castle and I wear a crown. When people see me, they all bow down. I wear a fancy gown and more jewels than you've ever seen. Who am I?
Miss Rhonda, are you a queen?
Yes, a queen. Good job. Yay, there she is. All right, here's the last one. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I live in a cave and I don't wear a crown. When people see me, they run all around. I breathe fire and I roar. And I'm much bigger than a wagon. Who am I?
Are you a dragon?
Yes. Good job. And he looks so cute. He's not ferocious.
Very cute.
Well, let's move on to a song.
Sounds fun.
I have a little dog, his name is Henry. He's the best dog that you ever did see. Every morning we go walking around the neighborhood, Henry and me. Sit, Henry. Good dog. I have a little dog, his name is Henry. He's the best dog that you ever did see. Every morning we go walking around the neighborhood, Henry and me. Lie down, Henry. Good dog. I have a little dog, his name is Henry. He's the best dog that you ever did see. Every morning we go walking around the neighborhood, Henry and me. Jump, Henry. Good dog. I have a little dog, his name is Henry. He's the best dog that you ever did see. Every morning we go walking around the neighborhood, Henry and me. Roll over, Henry. Good dog.
We would like to thank Macmillan Publishing for allowing us to read this story, Prince Bertram the Bad, and it is written and illustrated by Arnold Lobel. Once upon a time, a prince was born. Long live Prince Bertram, shouted all the people in the kingdom. His mother and father, the king and queen, were very happy and proud. But Prince Bertram was not a good baby. In his crib in the royal nursery, he cried all the time. When his mother took him to the park, Prince Bertram was not friendly to the other babies. Even before he was old enough to walk, he had torn up all the roses in the royal garden. The king and queen hoped that Prince Bertram would grow up to be a good boy. But as each year passed, he grew meaner and naughtier. And he had a whole room full of toys, and he had broken every one. The royal coachman did not like Prince Bertram. He would ride through the town blowing pebbles at the people with his pea shooter. The royal cook would not speak to Prince Bertram. He had thrown 4 spiders into the chicken noodle soup. The swans in the royal lake would not swim near Prince Bertram. He made terrible noises and horrible faces to frighten them. If only a spanking would do some good, the king sighed. His hands were red and sore because he had to spank Prince Bertram every day. Of all the children in the whole kingdom, there was not one who was as mean and as nasty as Prince Bertram. Everyone called him Prince Bertram the Bad. One morning, Prince Bertram sat in the highest castle tower, hitting the birds with stones with his slingshot. He saw a large, long-nosed blackbird in the sky and hit it too. It was not a long-nosed blackbird at all, but a witch who was passing by on her broomstick. The witch was very angry with Prince Bertram. She pointed a finger at him and shouted, "Alakabim!" Prince Bertram was quickly changed into a small, scaly dragon. "That will teach you to throw stones at me," said the witch as she flew away. "Mama, Papa, help!" called Prince Bertram. The king and queen were startled. "What had happened to our boy?" they cried. Clouds of smoke and fire came out of Prince Bertram's mouth. "What shall we do?" shouted the king. "He will set fire to all the window curtains." "That boy has been acting like a beast for so long that he has turned into a dragon," said all the people in the kingdom. "There's nothing left for Prince Bertram but the crown on his head." Everyone thought it was a great joke, and they came to the castle every day to laugh at him. Prince Bertram was tired of being laughed at. He was very unhappy. One night he took some ginger snaps from the royal pantry and ran away. There was a big forest near the castle where many lions and porcupines and other beasts live. The animals growled and roared at him, and they ate all of his ginger snaps. The animals thought he was strange, and no one would play with him. Even the birds made fun of him. Prince Bertram was lonely and sad. Soon winter came. The wind grew cold, and the snow began to fall. Prince Bertram tried to keep himself warm with the fire from his breath. He wished that he were safely home in the castle with his mother and father. On the coldest day of winter, Prince Bertram was walking through the forest looking for something to eat. Suddenly, he saw two legs with shoes on them sticking out of a snowbank. Prince Bertram dug into the snow and was surprised to find the very same witch who had changed him into a dragon. She had lost her way while flying through a snowstorm and had fallen, broomstick and all, into a deep snowbank. Prince Bertram quickly opened his mouth and blew a big breath of hot fire and smoke at her. The fire melted the ice, and the witch opened her eyes. "You saved my life," said the witch. "Dear dragon, what is your name?" "I used to be Prince Bertram until I threw a stone at you," he said sadly. The witch remembered what she had done. "Bless my broom," she said. "Even witches make mistakes." She pointed a finger and shouted, "Alakaboop!" At once, Prince Bertram was a boy again. The witch flew Prince Bertram home, and the king and queen were overjoyed to see him. The witch stayed for lunch. Then she gave Prince Bertram and his mother and father a ride on her broom. As they flew over the kingdom, the people cried, "Look, Prince Bertram has come back, and he is no longer a beast." That night at bedtime, Prince Bertram heard a voice outside his window. "Goodbye, Bert, and stay well," said the witch. Then she flew off into the evening sky. The fairies in the yard are flying around, flying around, flying around. The fairies in the yard are flying around, all round the yard. The fairies in the yard are twirling around, twirling around, twirling around. The fairies in the yard are twirling around, all round the yard. The fairies in the yard are jumping around, jumping around, jumping around. The fairies in the yard are jumping around, all round the yard.
Hey guys, welcome back. For today's craft, we are going to be making paper dolls. What you're going to have in your craft bag are 2 sticks, 2 dolls, and 1 prince outfit. It comes with a crown and hair and shoes and all that, and then a princess outfit which comes with a dress, hat, and more hair. What you're going to need from home is glue and tape. So let's get started. The first step that we're going to do is lay down our little doll. We're going to do the princess first, and we're going to put the clothes down without gluing them, just so we know what order they go in. So we're going to put the little shoes, and then the dress on top, and then her hair, and then the hat. So I'm putting glue on the back of the little shoes and pressing them down so that they stay on her feet. Then I'm going to put glue on the dress, just like that. We don't need a lot. And then we're going to line that up with the arms, like that. Pressing that down. Then we're going to take the hair. I'm going to put glue on her head this time, because a little bit of the hair hangs off. And line that up right, and press it down. And then we're going to put glue at the bottom of the hat, just like that. Flip it over, put it right there. And then we have our princess. Now we're going to move on to our prince. I'm going to lay him down, and we're just going to place his clothes on top without gluing yet, so that we know what order. We're going to put the green clothing on first, and then we put on the little shorts and the shoes and his vest, hair, and then finally the crown. Now that we have most of our clothes glued on, I'm just moving on to gluing the vest. And we're going to line that up with his arms and push down. It goes over the shorts a little bit, so that's fine. And then I'm going to glue on the hair right at the top of his head. And then for the crown, we're going to put glue on the back. And then we're going to line it up so it's just hitting the edges of his hair. And then you have your little prince doll. Now that we have both of our dolls, we're going to lay them down so that their backs are facing us. And then we're going to take our sticks, line them up somewhere in the middle where you have enough room to hold on to them. And then we're going to take some pieces of tape and just right across. You don't need too much for this part. And I'm going to put one for the princess. And then we have our prince and princess.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed our time together.
And don't forget to pick up your craft bag at Auburndale Public Library, and we'll see you guys July 16th.
That's right.
See ya.
Bye.